former pastor and sex ed teacher, abstinence until marriage instructor, and someone who didn't have sex until she got married, what do I tell my kids about sex? So glad you asked. A lot. I've been educating my kids since they came out of the womb, age appropriately. Initially, most of the education revolved around their self-worth, their self-esteem, protecting themselves, not allowing other people to touch them. Now they are 14, 15, 17 years old. Our conversations are really transparent. I love that because my kids tell me everything. I tell them, do not have sex until you can handle the fact that you might have a baby. Can you financially afford that child and provide a life for that child that they deserve? Number 2, do not have sex unless you're willing to accept the consequences of getting a sexually transmitted disease. In my opinion, the ones that haunt you the longest are the H's: hepatitis, HIV, herpes, and HPV. Those 4 are viruses and extremely difficult to get rid of. Generally, you have it for the rest of your life. I mean, like the majority of our population of the world has an STD. So you just need to be prepared that you're taking that risk. Number 3, can you deal with the emotional consequences of chemically bonding with that person and them breaking up with you and you having a broken heart? Also, that you could develop a bad reputation. Can you handle that? Especially in this day and age where they could be secretly videotaping everything you're doing and showing all of their friends. Assholes. Then we talk about what is the purpose of sex. There's a twofold purpose. 1, procreation. 2, pleasure. Obviously, teenagers are going to say it's just for pleasure. Obviously, we don't want to procreate right now. Okay, so then if it's just for pleasure, I do not want you having sex until you can completely please yourself. It is not your partner's responsibility to please you. So if you're going into this situation hoping that they're going to please you, no, friend, it's your responsibility. You know your body best. Everybody's body is different. So eventually, over time, they understand your body, they get to know your body, and then they are able to please you very well. But it is always your responsibility to know that at least you got yourself some. And if they didn't do it, you do it. So yeah, you don't get to have sex until you know exactly how to please yourself. Otherwise, you're going to be sorely disappointed, especially you ladies, when you derive no pleasure out of that situation, except that you got his attention. So you sold your body for some attention. Is that what we're doing? No, we ain't doing that. You better not walk away without getting yourself some. And if you can't do that, then you're obviously not mature or ready to be having sex. I also have very clearly told my kids, anybody can have a physical connection with one another, but the treasure is in when you can have a mental, emotional, spiritual, soul, and physical connection all wrapped into one. That shit, that's where it's at. So if I were you, I'd wait for that one. That's how the sex ed talks go here at my home. True education is knowing all your options, all the information, and then making a good decision based on the information you've been given. It is our responsibility as adults and parents to give our kids all the education so that they can make a really healthy choice for their life. If you are a parent that does not talk to your teenagers about the consequences of pregnancy, STDs, the emotional consequences, the detriments of pornography, especially unethical pornography, on relationships, if you don't talk to them about their pleasure, if you don't talk to them about their bodies and how they work, what are you even doing as a parent? Our children need to be getting factual information from us, not Pornhub, not their stupid 14-year-old buddy